All right, welcome Steam community. So we are Starcade Arcade, and we'll be live streaming Space Slurpers today. I'm Alexander Clark. I'm lead developer and CEO for Starcade Arcade.
I'm Ben Heiss, I'm the co-founder.
First, we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves and about the studio, and then we're going to play Space Slurpers. We're going to play the full game, in fact, all of the maps that are included at launch. So this will be the first time that if you didn't join us on the live stream yesterday, you'll get to see all of the maps. Space Slurpers is different from the others. It's an arcade-based game, a retelling of Snake in VR.
And so we just want to make sure to thank everyone for tuning in, and if you tuned in twice now, we really appreciate it. We'll be shooting all this in mixed reality, and you can thank the Live team for that. We think it's a fun way to showcase our game, and it gives y'all a better experience of what virtual reality can actually do and look like.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. One of the things we talked about is VR is sometimes very hard to show in first person because it's not very clear what the player is experiencing. So we opted for the mixed reality setup. That way you can see a bit more of the world environments around you, maybe a better idea of how the gameplay is played.
Yeah, and so hopefully you checked out the demo. If you did, let us know. We love feedback. So, as we're doing the stream, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll be moderating. We can answer any questions you have. If you played the demo and you have feedback, let us know. We're definitely have growth mindset and want to make sure we're delivering a really good experience for y'all, the player.
Definitely, we'd encourage you to be very active in the chat. So we are a two-man studio, believe it or not. We work with a lot of freelancers and an international team of people to help make this happen. But primarily it's the two of us. And so the way we'll be handling this is one of us will be playing in mixed reality, playing the game, playing the demo, and then the other person will be moderating in the chat. So there'll always be somebody there to talk. You can feed us different questions that you want us to address while we're in the live stream. I think the more interactive this is, the better.
Yeah, totally. And no questions wrong, let's just have
definitely.
fun. We're just here for y'all. We have 2 hours and some, and then let's just make it a fun, enjoyable experience. So
yeah,
let's get started.
Let's do it. Start slurping. Now, a little bit of background. If this is your first time seeing Space Slurpees, let me explain how it works. So you're controlling a snake with your hand. If you look, wherever my hand goes, the snake goes. This makes it very intuitive and easy to control in VR. And the more of these edibles you eat, that's these little floating geometric shapes, the more of these that you eat, the longer your snake gets. And so the objective is to eat as many of these as you can eat, get as long as you can get, all the while trying to survive. So let's talk about survival. What can kill you in this game? One of the things is if you run into yourself. So that's part of the challenge, the double-edged sword of getting longer, is the longer a snake you make, the more you have to avoid, because you can't run into yourself. Very similar to the old Nokia phone game, Snake and Centipede and Slither.io. There's lots of iterations. Other things you have to avoid include the other snakes. So you'll see around me there's multiple snakes that aren't controlled by me. And what we're showing you today, this is all the AI. In an average game, you'll play against 3 other snakes, and in single player, you're playing against AI-controlled snakes. So that's what you're seeing right now. As I show you all the different maps in the game, you'll notice that each map is a little bit different in how these enemy elements spawn. Up until this point, you've only seen the asteroids, but we do have other types. And even the different asteroids, there's variety. Some maps, they may rise from the floor, like you saw in Shroomy Shrooms. Other maps, they might drop from the ceiling, like you see in this map, Sapphire Sea. Other maps, well, we'll get to that. So there we go. I got 3 stars because I was the last snake alive. First place is 3 stars, and that's if you can survive the longest.
So I'm actually going to show you some of our demo maps. So I love to show you Poppy Planet. It's one of the 4 demo maps you can play right now, and you can play it on Steam, side quests, whatever you prefer. It's free. Check it out. Play it. If you do play it, definitely let us know what you think. We give you 4 maps, And so in those 4 maps, you know, one of my favorite questions to ask, obviously, is like, what of the 4 maps is your favorite? On top of whatever feedback you have. And so far, it's been great. We've been getting a lot of cool feedback. We're really glad we did this Steam Festival. We're glad we made a demo because it's actually helped us progress a lot to the full launch and find and uncover things that we just, you know, weren't really thinking. The feedback's great because I always have this rule that if you hear the same thing 5 times from different people or different avenues, it's usually something you should probably look into in your game. One of the major feedbacks we've got from this demo is, you know, we didn't realize, you know, we as devs have been playing this game over and over and over again. So like testing it, we know the game, we built the game, we know what it's meant, how it's meant to be played, but I think a lot of times, you know, even when we were designing this, we were like, we just want a very simple game, but I think we forgot that you still have to do a little bit of storytelling on how the game is actually played. And you know, it was kind of silly for us to assume that everyone has played VR Snake. I mean, you know, Nokia phone's pretty old nowadays, and not everyone has played Slither-O. So we heard very loud and clear, hey, we should have a quick demo of just showing, or a quick tutorial showing users how to actually play this game. So that will be added in the full launch now, and we're really excited about how we're handling it because tutorials are very interesting to me. I think that they can be, you know, a block to some, but important for others. So designing tutorial, you have to walk that line very carefully. You don't want to stagnate or lose players just because you introduce one, but you also want to make sure players who really want to learn how to play the game correctly can find that out. Another piece of feedback we keep getting is players want to just be able to replay or go to next map faster, which is good news for us as devs because the faster we can get you into a new game, the better. I mean, if you had feedback that's saying, no, I just don't want to play at all, I think that would, you know, we have to evaluate that, but the fact that folks want to get into a map faster really definitely made us excited and made us think of cool ways to introduce a replay. I'm excited for what we create. Oh man,
Here's what I'm sure you can ask. What has been the most rewarding?
Rewarding experiences. And
I assume for Slurpees.
Slurpees. You know, Slurpees is one of my, honestly, we play a lot of VR, we played a lot of VR games, and I know I'm biased, but I actually enjoy playing this game. You know, as a dev, like, there's probably devs out there who start a project and they keep with the project and they're like, you know, at the end of the day, it just becomes like a game. It's just a game you just got out. But maybe it's not fun. Slurpees is fun. I'm proud to say that like we created a game that I actually want to play. Not only did we make it, but we want to play it. And you know, it became very apparent when we would play our other games or test our other games. There's some days where it's like I just don't want to get in the headset and test. But I've never felt that with Slurpees. Every time Alexander makes a change or we make an update, I have to see it immediately. And so I think that has been so rewarding. Creating a game that I'm actually extremely happy with.
So now I think I want to answer Magic's 2 questions for myself as well. The 2 questions that he asked us in the chat were, 1, what's been the most rewarding? And so probably the most rewarding thing for me is, and I would have to admit, it's going to be the same as Brandon. Not necessarily about the fact that like we can play it ourselves, but replayability as a whole is a huge success. I think one of the best things that you can achieve as a game developer is making a game that people want to play over and over and has a high replay value. And so one of the first things that we observed when we started letting people play Space Slurpees was that they would play multiple games. This is very exciting to us because we're introducing somebody to our game for the first time. Sometimes when you show somebody a new game or they play a demo, they play it once and they're like, okay, that was that. But then other times, what you really want to see happen is what we were starting to see happen with Space Slurpees was people would play a match and then they would immediately want to play another one. They want to replay it. And on average, I think of all my friends and family that I've shown the game to, I see them play 3 or 4 maps before they feel like they've gotten a chance to test it out and they're done. And that's on average, but that's actually a big deal to us as developers. Like, that's a huge indicator that people are wanting to play it, they're finding it fun, and that's a huge success, huge rewarding win for us. And then it goes beyond that. So that was just like people that I was personally showing the demo to, that I was inviting over to my apartment and letting them try out on the headset. But then even like, I think more telling was once we released the demo and we started getting feedback from people, that there are people that have told us that they play this game once a day, just the demo. Even if it's just for like 5 minutes, they find it relaxing and it's a great game that, maybe they play it before or after they play some other VR content. And that's great. That's really like rewarding for us. And, we don't necessarily think you have to play this for hours, but if you want to play a little bit of the game every day, like, that's a win for us. That's something that says it's an experience people will keep coming back to, and that absolutely has been the most rewarding for me to hear. We want to thank everybody for joining us. It was a lot of fun enjoying the stream with you all. So thanks for tuning in.
Yep, and then if you do end up playing the demo, let us know and give us your feedback. We'd love to make any changes we need to before full launch.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow us from pretty much all of the social media channels. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, where you have a Discord,
Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, wherever. Follows help. We're a small indie studio, so do whatever you can, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a great point too, that even if you don't have VR, you can help us a ton by following us at any of those places. I mean, we love seeing follows on Spotify. Everybody can listen to music.
Yep.
You follow us on social media. All of that actually really helps us as we try to do things like get an Oculus Quest, take a look at the follows, and so it's really important for us and we help a lot.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. See ya.
I think Alexander won like every single game and I can't even get 1 gold.
Brought to you by Starcade Arcade.